I guess the first question is to learn more about you, your role, your title, who you work with, and what are the role responsibilities. So anything you find useful to share, that would be really interesting.
Well, I was from corporate America and took years off to take care of my mother and father. I had a stroke. My dad got sick. My mother wasn't supposed to live more than 2 or 3 years. It just kept going on. And then I realized I had to go back to work because how much I made, savings run out. So after 7 years of doing pretty much nothing, I knew I had to get into something new. A good friend I've known since I was 9 years old is nationally known for SEO. She travels the country and speaks about SEO. Another friend I knew since I was 11 was a copywriter. So I looked into both. I became a copywriter, learned about SEO. I have this insatiable need to be the best at everything I do. I researched for 18 months. In 2018, I got with a friend that's a copywriter and we went searching for a tech guy. We found somebody that was interested in SEO. He learned what he could. I taught him the basics and then he ran with it. Now he knows a lot more than I do. We came up with ways to improve on it, the way things are being done. He constantly followed Google trends on the tech boards and listened to everybody and we trial and error for everything else. We tried different things. And now we eventually got to a point where we offer fulfillment services because we realized that 92% of everybody nationwide, even internationally, was doing SEO wrong or could have been doing it better. So we offered fulfillment services, which we charge other agencies for. Some agencies decided to partner with us. They had an agency, but they dabbled in SEO. They really didn't do it, but they offered it. So they started paying us to do the services and turned it over. They're kind of the middleman, basically, and they just charge their customers accordingly. We had a school program to teach other agencies how to build an agency, how to do SEO, how to do digital marketing. That's where we're at now. We've recently, because of the current climate, mostly because of all the spam coming out of India, it's really hurt agencies in the United States. We have partners in the UK, Australia, and Canada. We felt it was changing to the point where prospecting and cold calling wasn't working anymore because there wasn't any more trust.
Mhm.
People on Facebook, Messenger, LinkedIn, Alignable, they weren't going to hand over thousands of dollars a month to somebody they'd never met, and even via Zoom because they'd all been taken advantage of. So we got into regular face-to-face networking like BNI. I'm not sure where you are, but there's probably BNI wherever you are too,
Mhm.
and some local networking as well. And that's been really big. So we've changed how we do things, not how we do things behind the scenes in the back end with SEO, but how we've done things to get new clients and build the business.
Yeah, makes sense. And I suppose when you implement these SEO organic growth campaigns to businesses, what steps do you take?
The biggest step is convincing them that they need it.
Yeah.
Once we get past that, it's easy. We just pretty much tell them that SEO is a long-term permanent solution. We can't just sell SEO anymore because of the climate, because you were trying to tell people, look, it's going to take 3 to 4 months. It's going to cost you. In some cases, roofers pay $5,000 to $10,000 a month for SEO, and it's impossible to ask them to say, "Hey, you're going to have to trust me. Give me $40,000 next 4 months with no return." They're not going to. Nobody's going to do it. Not anymore. Maybe one day they did, but not anymore. Now it's getting them sold on the SEO, and then we do ads so they have some return. And we focus on dozens of keywords for them for this. We do long tail keywords, which will rank faster, obviously. And then the main keywords start to kick in. It's just a constant slow growth. Overall, they're getting an enormous return in 90 to 120 days. We do maps. We help with their GBP. Even the way we explain things has changed. Assume they know what SEO stands for. I'll tell them search engine optimization, and I tell them that's what SEO stands for. I have this approach now where I treat everybody like they're 5 years old until they talk a little. I understand how much they know, and it seems to work really well. I don't
Yeah.
say GBP, I say Google Business Profile, because we found that for a long time, they would shake their heads and act like they knew, but people don't by nature, people don't want to look foolish or feel like they're asking stupid questions. So they'll just agree as if they know what you're talking about when you can tell they have a deer in the headlights. Look, they just glazed over. They don't have a clue what I'm saying. Simplifying matters has changed things a lot too.
Yeah, I heard clever equals broke
Yeah.
because I'm a clever person myself. So I was like, okay, I need to just drill this in my head.
My business partner is a tech guy. He talks over everybody's head. And I keep telling them they don't have a clue what you're talking about. I even tell them sometimes, I don't have a clue what you're talking about. So they certainly don't.
Oh my God, that hits too close to home. So I guess in that process, what's the most difficult? You mentioned a few things, but is there anything else?
I would say it has more to do with not the process, because it's almost the same process with everybody. I think it's just the niche that they're in, or maybe the market that they're in. That seems to be the most difficult. A roofer is usually the best example. I hate having roofers as clients. We don't go after them a lot because they're so calloused. There's nothing you can say to them that you can talk them into doing. It's very hard to get roofer as a client because some have lost hundreds of thousands of dollars on
Mm.
scams. I love the ones that say, I've been paying $500 a month for marketing and I'm getting nothing. Yeah. Add a zero to that 500 and then you'll have some results. You can't pay $500 a month in roofing and get anything in return. You're just funding somebody overseas. And it really just comes down to the niche and the market. If it's real competitive and highly populated, if you throw enough money at anything, it's going to work better. For what, say we would charge them $2,000 a month, they want to pay $4,000. Yeah, they're going to rank faster. Everything's going to happen faster. We're going to have more ads. But some things are so competitive that we also have to explain there's so much search volume in what you do. You're going to start to get return on the third page. But we normally try to tell them, you got to get to the first page. You got to get to the top 3 spots. So really the challenge is the research. I guess overall, what I'm saying is the challenge is the research for that particular client, where they are, what they do, and what the competition is.
Makes sense.
It's just more backlinks. It's more of everything, more ads. And we can do that. We can do it faster.
Yeah, makes sense. And I suppose if you had unlimited resources like time, money, people, what would you do in this process to change?
Time is the problem. I've worked 18-hour days recently. That's just too much. I'm in great shape, but I get tired too, just like anybody else. I can't I worked from 2:30 a.m. till 8:30 at night the other day, and that was just a lot. I'm not getting any younger. This isn't getting easier. Streamlining things would be easy. Even with a good CRM, I wouldn't say it helps a whole lot for us. We thought Go High Level would be great, a great CRM, and it would streamline things. It really hasn't. It's made things a little bit easier on the tech end, not prospecting. And I'm the one that prospects, and it hasn't really done me a whole lot of good or saved time or streamlined anything.
It's like there's lots of new softwares, but then in the end, they
Yep.
just need time as well. So where's the results?
And some of them are so hard to figure out. I don't save time because I'm spending time trying to figure them out.
Makes sense. It works when you're an expert level. To get there, it takes time.
It's a way you can tell who designed them when you start to use them. I don't believe a tech person, 'cause I've trained people with this. You have to approach things from all different angles, beginners, intermediates, experts. You can't just throw things out there and expect everybody to know what you're talking about. Go High Level was obviously developed by tech people. They didn't start from point A to get to point B. They started somewhere in the middle. There's no step-by-step that's going to teach the novice how to get to where they need to be. Either have this knowledge or go learn it just to get started. Some of the things I didn't have the knowledge and my partner did. So he was good with it, but you can tell it was designed by tech people.
It's a borderline unusable.
To me, it mostly is unusable. Even from the prospecting standpoint, I would definitely do things a lot different. You could tell that they were thinking 5 steps ahead and not starting at the beginning. There's so many things wrong with it to prospect that I don't even use it.
I suppose, is there anything else you would add about this whole SEO growth, the future of SEO growth?
I just think the important part now, and I can't really speak for other countries because I have limited contact with our British friends, Aussies, the Canadians, but from an American standpoint, you have to adapt and change because Right now, what's going on here is people won't answer their phones anymore. Even people running businesses have given up answering their phones. I personally have gotten as many as 90 calls a day. Imagine what it's like to get 90 spam calls in a day. You have to answer the phone and say, hello, just to hear it over and over again. The AI you hear on the other end selling the same exact thing 90 times a day. It's infuriating. Many local small businesses are bombarded with calls all day that they don't want to answer their phones anymore, and they're
Yeah.
losing business.
I always
And
thought that about US. For US, everyone targets them.
definitely, where are you?
So I'm in London. I'm based in London, but I'm originally from Lithuania. Lithuania is like a small country. And basically the market, any industry has like a very low market ceiling because the TAM is so tiny. If you go to Lithuania, there's no ads, no calls, because no one targets the country. They have their own language and there's not enough people to justify the investment. So we're not targeted at all. So when I look at ads, I always look at everyone targets US. I'm like, those
Oh,
people
it's
are
really,
people, you know?
it's gotten that bad. I was a federal agent. I have inside information, and they've been trying to pass legislation to ban certain Indian call centers. But I don't believe that's going to fix things because most of them are selling legitimate American products. There's American companies hiring them to sell legitimate products. The problem is, I don't know what laws you have there, but you can be put on a do not call list here, and they have to, that's the law. If you tell them to stop calling you, they have to stop calling you. That's not how these call centers work. And that's why the American companies are using them, because they'll just hang up on you if you ask. If you swear at them, they'll hang up on you, and your number will stay in their system, and they'll continue to call. They're breaking American law, but they're getting away with it. They're not getting away with it so much anymore because the companies hiring these call centers are starting to get hassled and fined, and
Mhm.
so they're starting to change, but it's gonna be a long time before it.
Yeah, that's a shame. But yeah, those are the open-ended questions we were hoping to ask you.